Edith wasn't the only one who'd heard. The voices within the headmistress's office had abruptly stopped as well. Something inside made Edith fight her instincts to obey, and she dashed towards the box, hitting it full tilt and causing it to spin away from the skirting. "Edith Wight! Get back on that bench at once!" The sound of Madame Entwistle's footsteps matched the anger in her voice. Edith looked down. But the box had slid into the middle of the corridor, and the mouse was heading towards sanctuary. Uttering a little squeak, it disappeared from sight. "Edith Wight!" Madame Entwistle was almost on top of her. Edith looked around. The door to the headmistress's study opened, and then the world was an explosion of incandescent light. The pain that suddenly exploded in Edith's head made her clutch her temples with both hands. Clamping her eyes shut, she doubled over and staggered backwards, reeling as if she'd been struck full in the face. As the pain began to ebb away, Edith slumped to the floor, her chest heaving for air and sweat running down her face. "Edith Wight!" Madame Entwistle roared. "Your behaviour beggars belief. Get back on that bench immediately." "She's had another attack, Madame Entwistle." A more authoritative voice spoke from the study's doorway. "Give her some air. I'll see to this." "As you wish, headmistress." Edie registered the sound of Madame Entwistle's footsteps retreating and other footsteps approaching. The sound of softer footsteps approaching faintly registered in Edith's consciousness. "Child, are you all right?" Edith opened her eyes, bracing herself for a resurgence of the pain. Nothing happened. She nodded up at her headmistress and got to her feet. "Come into my office, Edith Wight. We have things to discuss." The headmistress's study was small and square, and every inch of its walls were covered in yet more portraits of St. Margot Montefiore. The woman in the pictures looked surprisingly like the headmistress, who directed Edith to an upright leather chair, and this was no surprise. St. Montefiore's School for Girls had been passed down from one generation to the next, ever since its founding. The headmistress, as round and plump as her ancestor, sat behind her antique oak desk and paused to regard the girl in front of her. Edith was small for an 11-year-old, and she sat there clasping her hands together, looking pale, thin and drawn. "Sorry, headmistress," she said quietly, once she'd fully regained her senses. "Edith," the headmistress said with a hint of a sneer, "child, you seem to have had another of your episodes. I need to speak to you about your parents." Not for the first time, Edith wondered if the headmistress really cared about the tumble she'd taken. She looked up expectantly. "Have they forgotten again?" she asked. The disappointment tasted sour in her mouth. "Not this time." The headmistress paused with relish. "Your mother and father will not be here to collect you today, nor any other day. They've gone missing." Missing. The word was so simple and yet so bewildering. Edith's eyes darted around, as if she might even find her parents hiding under the headmistress's table. It suddenly seemed so long ago that she'd last seen them. "Where are they, headmistress?" "Well, if that was known, they would not be missing, would they, young lady?" The headmistress smiled. "This isn't like half-term. Then they simply got the dates wrong. Well, when your lives are as busy as your parents' lives are, off trotting the globe looking for natural wonders, it's quite easy to forget a little girl you left halfway across the world. What is it they're looking for this time? Tree frogs? Rare butterflies?" "Flies, headmistress." "What?" "They're studying bluebottles. It's my mother's speciality." The headmistress gave Edith a look of disgust. "I dare say some people find flies fascinating, but what those people might be like, heaven knows, and, good gracious, just to think that they've left you behind while they're gallivanting across the world looking for bluebottles." "My mother says